Hello, and welcome to Surviving the Apocalypse the Nerd's Way. My name is Maximus Decimus Mordius Mattius Mortalis Marutus, High Castellan of the Winding Path, Forger of Flame, Breaker of Wills, and all-around fantastic man. But you can call me Adam for short.
Adam?
Yeah.
What have we talked about our openings being a little bit hard to listen to?
I think that you find them hard to listen to because you have to listen to it about 100 times to edit it.
It's true, actually.
Oh, my.
I don't think the stream's... Oh, the stream is working. We've got 0 viewers.
Well, I would expect as much, yes. Just for those who are obviously listening to the podcast, we are currently live streaming this episode. Why, you ask? Because why not? That's the best reason that we can come up with. No, we're going to start streaming a bit more because it would be glorious fun and... yeah, basically, it's just going to be good. And hopefully, my apologies, just choking on my own coldness. Anyway, yes, hopefully we'll be able to engage a bit more and just chat with all you fine folk. So yeah, that'll be great. Anyway, so today on this episode, where we have free structured chat, essentially, it's going to be a podcast about bloody whatever, and it's going to be glorious.
And that's awfully specific.
So, John, what's been going on with you?
Well, not much, you know. I've just been walking around doing some job stuff. I've got a job, you know. I've got to do my job.
Fascinating.
It's pretty great.
Well, I got something recently, and it's pretty amazing. As you can see, I'm quite proudly wearing the Surviving the Apocalypse,
yes.
the Nerd's Way t-shirt. This fits my soul quite well, I find. Just, you know, the black and everything like that.
Normally people put their t-shirt on their body, not their soul.
I do both, because that way I'm reflected in and out. I'm just that dedicated to the Nerd's Way, John.
I'm not sure I quite follow the logic.
No, neither do I. But nonetheless, so yes, shirts are up and out. So if you want to buy one, it'll be glorious. Wait, because as we discussed last episode, when the World Builders start their fundraiser, we're going to do a whole bunch of stuff and donate basically everything to World Builders, Patrick Rothfuss, Heifer, all that fun stuff.
It won't be for a while, though. So,
no.
I mean, if you can't wait, just get the shirt. I mean, no one knows where to find the link for the shirt.
Wrong. I've literally had someone just Google Surviving the Apocalypse the Nerd's Way, and it's like the 3rd result.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that challenge you said is now void.
What was the prize we promised them?
A shirt?
No. Well, they get the shirt. They buy the shirt. But we said if you manage to buy it, you get something... I've got to go back and listen to it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Adam, stop adjusting your hair for the camera.
Basically, I'm just wanting to look like a crazed scientist.
Yeah, fair call. All right, I need to make mine look more crazy as well.
Yeah.
Let's do... It's Fashion Hour on the show.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so the... what was it? So shirts are out, so that's cool. But something else has been worrying me. And that is, I was scrolling through the wonders of Facebook and Twitter.
Yes.
And news stories have been sparking up and out of the US. And it's not about the national emergency over a border wall or anything like that.
Okay.
Nothing so mundane as politics, please. No, this is a deadly, infectious zombie deer virus. Or disease, technically. And it is rapidly spreading across the US. And experts warn that humans could contract it next.
Wait. Hang on. Slow down, Adam. So they've discovered the actual zombie virus.
I would say that they have discovered something that probably acts similar. Anyway, so a chronic... basically wasting disease is currently affecting deer, elk, and moose in 24 states. The infection attacks the brain and spinal cord before resulting in death. So at least it does result in death. There's that.
At least?
Well, I mean...
I suppose you could say that.
I mean, in the end, it would be probably better for them to die than continue on trying to, I don't know, infect others and spreading pestilence.
All right, this is already taking a morbid turn, but I suppose we did start off with deadly infectious zombie disease, so what could I expect, I suppose?
Infected creatures also dramatically lose weight and become very aggressive. So basically, that would be me on a diet. So I might have this, John. Beware.
New disease. Adam on a diet.
So Michael Osterhold has warned. I don't know who that is. I think that might be the Surgeon General. Maybe I have no idea.
Okay.
Has warned that humans could be next to be infected. So who knows?
So how do they know that? How do they know that humans are going to be next? Because I don't understand. Like swine flu, pig flu, bird flu, all those flus.
Swine flu and pig flu are the same thing.
Whoops. I meant bovine and swine.
Uh-huh.
Never mind. How do you find out that this is about to get transferred to human? And how does it happen? Like, well, I'm sure all diseases just go to all animals at all times.
I'm not a virologist, unfortunately, but
look, Adam, for the purpose of this podcast, you need to be.
For my own knowledge, which is amazing, I would say that in this case, there must be a protein or something that only humans can, or primates technically, can absorb to get sick. Maybe, I'm not too sure.
All right, now you're just making stuff up. I mean, granted, I did literally ask you to make up stuff for the podcast.
You did, and I did, and how you just keep smashing me, John. You just keep making me sad. What do you think this is?
All right, so let's see. So this is starting in America. Let's say that it's taking off.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think our plan of defense should be?
Well,
like assuming it goes straight from horses to humans.
Well, no. Wait, hold on. Let's
Sorry.
Wait. Here's the thing. If it spreads to Australia and it hasn't spread to humans, kangaroos are just basically deer that jump when you think about it.
I guess.
Yeah?
Sure, let's go.
So kangaroos would probably get it. And they become aggressive. Have you ever been charged at by a kangaroo or fronted up by a kangaroo before?
No, but let me just tell you, I am glad that I haven't, because they are big units.
I have, yeah, they are. I've walked up to one before. I'm not sure if I've discussed this on the podcast before, but I've walked up to one before and had my headphones on. And so I couldn't actually hear anything. But I'm approaching it kind of making these like hand gestures, trying to distract it. Because I wanted to get close to it just because, I like animals.
Yeah.
And there was a pause in the song or something, and I could hear like a noise. So I took off my headphones, and this bloody kangaroo was growling at me. And I'm just like,
what?
Yeah.
I didn't know
they made like a
growl.
And I'm just like, whoa, hello here. So I take a couple of steps back, and it just like stands up, and I'm just like, oh, okay, so you're about 6 foot tall, and wide, and could probably kill me. So I did what a sane man would do and pulled out my torch and started shining in its face. It was like, "Go away with you, peasant man! I will not be shrimmed down by a kangaroo."
And did it work?
Well, it jumped away.
They scared it?
It jumped away.
Okay.
So I was just like, thank goodness for that.
I guess they were like, "Daylight, what is this?" Because they're like you, and actually, they're not quite like you because they're not nocturnal. They're
dusk and dawn.
Yeah, dusk and dawn.
So anyway, this zombie deer disease is basically, it's not going well.
Okay.
Like, because Americans and what have you, and like they hunt for venison and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that maybe that's why they're thinking that humans could be next, just due to the consumption of venison.
Okay.
Maybe. So, I mean, this kind of sounds like a like some type of gastro problem. That could be.
So why? Hang on. If this is gastro, why do they?
No. I'm saying it like similar. I would imagine.
Okay.
Maybe
because I want to know what is it about this disease that makes them label it zombie? Like, I know they sensationalized headlines a little bit to be like, "Oh, the world's gonna end." Mm-hmm. Like, no, the world's not gonna end. Like, one person got sick once, and people get sick all the time.
Yeah.
How is this different? Why is this a zombie situation? Why are we on red alert now?
Well, I'm only on like purple alert. So it's
is it in the order of the rainbow?
I have no idea.
Okay.
So this is
indigo alert.
So a chronic wasting disease, or a CWD. So Osterhold is I got to find out who this Osterhold is. Okay. So he's the director of the Center of Disease Control.
Oh, okay. So he would actually.
He would know. Yeah.
About.
So he's basically likening this chronic wasting disease to mad cow disease that set through the UK in 1980s and the 1990s, and that killed over 150 people. People
still can't get blood because of that and
precisely.
All this stuff.
And not just that. I mean, there's still far-reaching problems because of this. So there was that whole like mad cow, like consumption of beef leading to Alzheimer's and things like that. So there have been no documented cases of humans contracting this chronic wasting disease yet, but recent research shows that it can be transmitted through other animals, which include primates. So it's not...
All right. Because I'm doing some due diligence on this just to make sure that you're not reading one article and taking a lot of things out of context.
Yes.
I'm on Silence Daily.
Science. Silence Daily sounds like an article I would read.
Yeah, true. Silence Daily. It's a podcast and you log in and there's just no one talking in it. I mean, you could just not listen to the podcast, I guess.
True.
So I'm on Science Daily and it says... People who eat deer and elk with chronic wasting disease may avoid infection because of species barrier.
Mm-hmm.
However, this was in 2009, and it also uses the word may. They may avoid.
Yeah.
Like, I am not going to take out any bets on may. So, all right. No more
venison.
Eating, yeah, no. Just off the table. I mean, granted, we probably don't get it imported
we don't get it.
from the US.
We eat kangaroo meat. I mean, I view kangaroos as basically tiny furry T-Rexes.
That's even better.
Yeah, well, imagine, like, they've got the little hands, so they're just, like, jumping around.
What if T-Rexes were just giant kangaroos that went out of fashion?
Horrifying. So, T-Rexes, ironically enough, paleontologists, they weren't hunters. They were scavengers.
Oh, okay, so they're just the rats of...
Oh, probably not that much. I'd say they were very large and horrifying, but they killed more from like wasting away animals and stuff like that. They didn't go like out of their way to fight, apparently. So that's pretty good. So yeah, so I'm looking at some of these pictures of this, and it is looking pretty horrifying for these animals, to be honest. I would put some like random posts of this on Twitter, but considering like we don't use it that often, it would just be random pictures of sick deer and people would be like, what's going on here?
I mean, we already are a pretty weird podcast.
Yeah,
we don't need to increase our weirdness rating.
Yep. So it's 24 states which are currently infected, and it looks like it might go even more, which would be quite horrifying, to be perfectly frank. But yeah, so if it does go to humans, I'm not sure if it'll be full zombie, because it says like it attacks the brainstem.
Okay.
So it would be like a lowering of inhibitions, resurgence of primal urges, things like that. Like your higher thinking capacity would be diminished. Thus, you would revert to primal states of being.
Diseases like this, I mean, all diseases scare me because I'm
You're a germaphobe?
Germaphobe / hypochondriac. Diseases like this scare me because if you got it and your brain just starts to slowly get affected, like, how do you notice? You're just a little bit less smart than you used to be, well, I mean, and then it gets a little bit less and a little bit less.
I mean, it's the whole classic, are you the only person who knows if you're mad type of deal.
No, Adam, we all know.
Well, granted, yes, I am rather quite strange and horrifying. There is absolutely no... Oh, what do you know? I can't do that. I just discovered I can change things.
Adam, stop getting distracted by Facebook.
I'm not. It's not Facebook. We're trying to share this... obviously the live stream around so that way people can see this.
Let's move on. At least we've warned everyone so they now know don't eat deer meat and also prepare for the apocalypse, which I guess our podcast has been just like always prepare for the apocalypse. That's kind of the MO.
Yeah.
But there you go. Any final tips before we move on?
If this jumps to humans... Because I'm not entirely sure how because it didn't actually say, but I'm not entirely sure how it transmits from animal to animal, but I would say it's probably through saliva.
So don't kiss any deer.
Don't kiss any kangaroos. I know it's hard for us Australians, but do not kiss any kangaroos, people. I'm telling you, John has he loves kissing kangaroos. He'll go down to the golf course and just tackle these kangaroos to the ground and just be like, give me a kiss. No, because if that was the case, he'd be dead because, a kangaroo kid can literally kill a man.
We've talked about kangaroos before on the podcast, and if you hit into one, the kangaroo ends up better off than your car.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why I got a bull bar.
Kangaroo bar, we should call it.
Yeah, rhubarb. Yeah, rhubarb. Yeah, they are rhubarb. So, sorry, yep. Well, yeah, so my final tip would be this. If the horrifying infection comes to pass and spreads to humans and is in Australia, I would recommend for the average person, hold up in your home for basically as long as supplies can last. Board up every door, every window. Do not turn lights on. Stay inside and wait for a couple of weeks. And if the situation continues to decline, then you leave. But, I mean, if you have any experience whatsoever in wilderness survival, in Australia it's a bit more difficult because we are literally a death world, filled with,
poison and heat and drought and
literal floods that killed a whole... We'll get to that.
I mean, we have droughts and floods at the same time. And our country is not very big.
No, our country's massive. Our country literally split down the middle, is either on fire or drowning. And then it just switches with the next season. So that's fantastic. So that's my advice. Slip out into the wilderness, and I feel terribly sorry for you wonderful Americans out there. If the zombie infection, which has come from deer, ironically, I would not have expected deer.
No, I thought it was going to be that ant thing, ant spores you mentioned on one of the episodes.
Yep.
Something like that.
You flee. Come to Australia. Come. I will welcome you personally. I probably won't. But I will welcome you on Twitter or Facebook or whatever the case may be. I'll even have you over for dinner, one at a time, once a week. So to get through all... what's the 300 million Americans? Maybe, I don't know.
It's gonna take a while, but
it will.
It's okay. Adam is immortal. He accidentally picked up like a weird red stone that was like in the middle of some cavern somewhere, and ever since he hasn't been able to die.
It has inundated me with awesome power.
We're going to continue on with this idea, the
free talk.
Free talk.
Mm-hmm.
Straight off the cusp, off the chest. On the edge of our seats. I don't know. Some expression.
Mm-hmm. Wait a second, John. Where the hell is your shirt?
Oh, the Surviving the Apocalypse, the Nerds Way shirt.
Sure, let's go with that. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's in my cupboard. I could put it on right now.
Go and put it on and I will entertain our...
Okay, you better
listeners.
entertain them. Like, it better be the highest quality entertainment for making me do this.
Good evening. Now that we're alone, fine listeners, let me tell you all the secrets about John. So John likes to go dancing in the moonlight. He likes to walk where angels fear to tread. I have no idea. So how about this instead? Whilst we wait, I sing. Beware, beware, the daughter of the sea. Beware, I heard him cry. His words carry across the ocean breeze as he sank beneath the tide. Anyway, that's a song sung by Laura Bailey, a wonderful voice actress. I love her dearly. And as you can see, John has just come back because we have a mirror behind us.
Oh, yeah.
Because just in case some type of horrible eldritch being elected to reach through their dimension through the mirror, they can grab one of us and just pull us basically into this horror mirror dimension.
All right, hang on. Let's show the stream our shirts.
So wait, hold on. Let me just get Frenier out of the way. There we go. Yep. So Surviving the Apocalypse the Nerds Way, folks. We have shirts. Join the club. Be a survivor.
They're only like $20 or something. You know, that's a bargain. You can't get this quality of shirt. Oh, what a bargain. I'll buy it straight to the pool room.
This is great, eh? Yeah, no. Fully sick, eh? Yep. So
just go to what is it even on? I can't remember what it's on.
Mate, is it Teespring or TeePublic?
TeePublic.
Yeah.
And search The Nerds Way. Get your own shirt today. We get basically no money from it, and it all goes towards our Buying an Island fund.
No, it won't.
I think we only have to sell about
600 million other shirts.
no, 3 million probably shirts to be able to afford our island. So let's get started.
Yep. Yeah, TeePublic. There it is right there.
So yeah, if you search for Surviving the Apocalypse, the Nerds Way, it comes up, or Surviving the Apocalypse, the Nerds Way, TeePublic. Anyway, it's only there if you like it. It's kind of a statement. You're not just advertising our show. You're saying, I am surviving the apocalypse.
I am going to be a survivor in the apocalypse, and I'm going to do it in the nerdiest damn way possible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it looks really cool. I've worn it in public. I haven't gotten any weird stares, except the normal weird stares that I get in public, you know.
I do know, yes.
I mean, normally that's because they're staring at me going, why do you hang out with this guy?
It's true. Every time I go through Macca's, it's something weird being said.
All right. So... Mm-hmm. I wanted to talk to you about this show. Have you seen it yet? We've talked about it before, but there's something new that's come out with it. And I want to talk about that because it's something completely different to anything else.
Okay.
Black Mirror. We've talked about it before.
We have?
You've watched...
Oops. No, that was my fault. Sorry, folks.
We've talked about it before. You've watched a few episodes. You haven't gone back and watched the whole thing yet.
No, I have not.
Fair enough. But it's a really good show, really good writing. What they've done is they haven't released a new season. They've released I don't know what even to call it, an interactive movie. So it's longer than your average Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
And it allows you to make certain choices throughout it. So it actually starts off in this person's house. They're reading this fantasy choose your own adventure book.
That's cool.
And the dad is like, what cereal do you want to have? And that's when it starts. And it comes up with the black options at the bottom. And you can just see this timer ticking down. And you have to choose one or the other.
You choose which cereal you need to, okay.
Now, obviously, that's just getting you used to the controls. I don't think, at least as far as I've played, I haven't been able to tell that the cereal makes any effect in the rest of the movie.
That you know of.
But, like, I need to go back and choose the other one, right?
Yep. Totally.
But it's actually really, really well done. So the way they do it is he's creating this computer game version of a fantasy choose your own adventure book. He's trying to port it. It's set back in the 80s, so he's porting it to a computer. He's got this really old square computer thing with the like really low resolution screen that's flickering, and he's typing everything in.
I like that.
But it gets really interesting because one of the characters in the show that you can meet and you can talk to has become self-aware. Like, he breaks the fourth wall. He realizes that there's a quote-unquote other being that is controlling their actions, and nothing matters because he realizes that if he dies, he'll come back in another reality and the world will be slightly different.
Okay, that's dark, but I like it.
It is very dark. So don't watch this on a day that you feel like being happy. Actually do, and then watch something funny afterwards. Because if you watch this on a day you feel like being sad, it'll just make you sadder. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there are some really heavy scenes in this. So, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it for the younger audiences, I suppose. So it's really good. And there's this really interesting dynamic. There's one plot line in the show that I was thinking, oh boy, they really forced this plot line into the thing, into the series. It doesn't really connect with the rest.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it shows him building the game, and then they're like, wow, you really forced that plot line into the game. So it's like self-referential. You had to really be thinking like really meta as you're watching it.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's such an experience to watch.
I like that. That sounds actually really good. So what's it called?
It's called Black Mirror Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch. Is that the name of the game?
Yeah, well, I don't know what to call it because it's not quite a game. It's not quite a movie. Interactive film, I suppose.
Right.
But yes, let me, if you do play it, watch it, whatever you want to call it, let me know what you ended up with.
All right. You know, whatever it's going to be like the most terrible outcome for these people ever, right? If I'm basically going to be these guys' god, I'm going to make their lives a miserable
I think
wretch.
This is one of those games that whatever option you choose, it ends up badly.
Oh, okay. That's a bit sadder. Just because, you know, I like causing unobjected chaos. Okay, so Bandersnatch. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, all right. I might try that tonight, actually, when I get home. Because, let us know, folks, if you tried Bandersnatch, if you had any type of weird outcome, or just something strange. Because apparently I did read something about this, that there are so many combinations of things that can happen and, like, basically do... that it's insane. It's like something more than stars or something, which I find to be somewhat ridiculous. But nonetheless, yeah. But give it a crack.
That can't be true.
I honestly have no... Well, I mean, the opening moves to chess. That equates to stars or something like that. I read. So, yeah, it's possible. So, Bandersnatch. Let us know, folks. It would be glorious.
But remember, no matter what you decide, whether you decide to watch Bandersnatch or not, you made a choice.
Oh, no. It's like the whole simulation thing. That's fun. So, yeah, if those of you who don't know, we are in a simulation. it's quite fascinating. And John and I have proved it. Except, I think in the last episode or episode before, when we were trying the same experiment,
I couldn't choose.
You just couldn't choose a number. It's like
my brain short-circuited. It wasn't connected to the random number generator that day.
That was so funny.
All right. Let's try it again right now. The way it works is you just hit a table and then you say the number.
Yep.
You hit the table.
All right, so it'll be on 3. Okay.
And only thinking the number after you hit the table.
Okay. All right. Ready? So 1, 2, 3. 17.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, if 8 plus 9 is 17, so simulation
We've done
proven.
Simulation. All right. So yeah. So those. Yeah. Bandersnatch. So that's a plan, and we're in a simulation. Glorious, magnificent fun, folks. Now, John, add a sound effect right here.
Welcome to our 4 viewers, by the way. I'm really excited to have you here.
Yes.
Feel free to ask a question in the chat if you want to know how to survive the apocalypse better, or if you want us to talk about something. Just let us know.
Well, I'm going to talk about something briefly, because something has been happening with the gaming industry. And I'm of 2 minds about this.
Okay.
So, a lot of media has labeled gamers as being entitled and toxic. And for some points, they are correct, because...
Hang on. I know I shouldn't interrupt you this early in your rant, but gamers are entitled. They pay for a product. They're entitled to get a product.
Oh, I agree 100%. No,
okay. I'll let you continue.
Okay. So you are correct in that we have the gamers, that is. We are entitled to... Well, we're entitled to what's expected, essentially, what's advertised to us. What's given to us is sometimes less than what we have paid for. So, one of the big things that I've seen recently was the...
Fallout 96?
76.
Sorry, 96 is going to be the next version.
So, one of the ones is Fallout 76. It was released far too early for a lot of people. And it was something less than AAA from a AAA studio.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in the past, I think like last year or something like that, there was that gamers are slightly entitled kind of aspect of things. We're a bit toxic. Like I said, in some aspects, yeah, correct. I mean, if you've been on trade chat in World of Warcraft or Red Dead Redemption 2 online, some people are just jerks. But then again, there are actually really good people out there. But that doesn't really speak to how we are as consumers. So one of the things that has been on the news recently, in gamers news and Reddit and things like that, has been that, and I'm a huge fan of Activision Blizzard. All right, well, Blizzard in particular, but I mean the company is Activision Blizzard now. And because I've loved how they ran their business, in a sense. I've loved the titles they've put out. I love the effort they've put into story. But recently, something has happened where they have... Activision Blizzard have basically fired 800 staff.
Oh my goodness.
Which was a little disheartening. Because...
I imagine so.
Yeah, because the whole... They recorded mass profits for 2018. And the CEO, I can't remember his name, Bobby Robert something, can't remember, took home quite a bit of money, like ridiculous sums of coin. And slightly depressing, but I mean, that's capitalism for you, isn't it? But I just, I've spoken to 2 members of Blizzard Entertainment before, just like game community developers and stuff like that. Community managers and a game developer, and they are passionate about their work and they love what they do. Like they put in so much time and effort into this, and for a lot of it, it's just free overtime for the company. So that bothers me a little because I love Blizzard and I really want them to just get back to the core roots. Because I even remember there was actually a quote from this guy. I'll see if I can't pull it up. John, talk.
Okay, well, I just wanted to mention, I'd like to mention this whenever I can. I studied game development at university, but I've never actually gotten a job in it because I knew that the industry does take advantage of the passion because it is a career that you would only get into if you are truly passionate about it, or at least I believe so. So all these people have spent this time studying and learning how to make games because it's something that they love doing, and then the companies see that, they pay them basically nothing, get them to work all day, and just treat them badly because they're like, well, you wanted to get into this industry, which is like not good treatment at all.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying all game companies are like that. There are some great game companies out there.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot that take advantage of this passion that their employees have.
Yeah. So it's Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision. And he said in 2010, this is a quote, and it's verified in the article, the goal I had was to take all the fun out of making video games.
But if you take the fun out of making them, you're going to take all the fun out of playing them.
Yes.
That can't be true. Surely
I'm going to bring up the
context.
article now.
Okay.
Right. And because that's what I thought. When I heard this, I'm just like, that has got to be out of context, surely. But this is during a 45-minute presentation at a bank securities technology conference in San Francisco.
Okay, because 45 minutes is a long time. Like, a lot can come out of your mouth. But also, a lot of true stuff that you just didn't want people to know can come out.
Well, here it is. Okay. So, so I'm going to read the verbatim, all right? So the question was, the analyst, what do you think the retailer's willingness these days is to hold inventory on the video game side? Are they building positions today, or are they still very reluctant and very careful of how they are buying? So Bobby, Activision Blizzard's president CEO, said, I don't think it's specific to video games. I think that if you look at how much volatility there is in the economy, and dependent upon your view about macroeconomic picture, and I think we have a real culture of thrift. And I think the goal that I had in bringing a lot of the packaged good folks that we brought into Activision 10 years ago was to take all the fun out of making video games. I think we definitely have been able to instill the culture... Wow. I think we definitely have been able to instill the culture, the skepticism and pessimism and fear that you should have in an economy that we are in today. And so, while generally people talk about the recession, we are pretty good at keeping people focused on the deep depression. I mean, that's pretty unreal. So, I mean, that's disheartening to hear, to be perfectly frank. But nonetheless, like, I still have hope. I'm really, really, really trying to hold on to Blizzard and the stuff that they do, because I love their titles. Like, StarCraft is an amazing RTS with brilliant macro technology. Heroes of the Storm, which depresses me that they've cut the esports for this year. But once again, I can understand, that they've poured money into it and they didn't get a return on it, so they've cut it. I can understand that. But every time I watched the Heroes of the Storm esports, I would then start playing Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
And because I loved the presenters of the just the Heroes of the Storm stuff. It was so much fun. But anyway, so they've cut that. Bungie left Activision, which means that they took the title of Destiny 2 as well, but it's still going to remain on the Blizzard launcher and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's something. Apologies.
So people are not a fan of Activision right now.
They're really not. Activision has had like a massive black eye. Like, it's been huge.
Because I remember when we used to hate EA.
Oh no, they still hate EA. They hate EA. Like, the gaming community does not like EA at all.
So what have we got left? So Blizzard obviously has been tainted by Activision. So what
that's
gaming companies do we have?
I can't... See, I don't want to say that they've been tainted by Activision, because I'm trying... Like, there's so much negativity out there at the moment in regards to... And, like, rightfully so as well. But there's so much negativity in this that people are just constantly hammering onto Blizzard. And I understand that the fact that people want to be heard and people have that desire to, say, you used to be something I loved and aspired to, and now you're just trash, that doesn't really help. But that being said, like, I can understand them want their voices to be heard, essentially. But that's all right. So for me, I don't want to say that Activision is the downfall of Blizzard. I think that Blizzard itself has put itself in a position where they're more focused on shareholder an economy rather than the consumer, which is upsetting. But, from what I understand with how World of Warcraft is at the moment, it's a lot better than how it was when the expansion was released. So that's pretty good. Hearthstone is still going well, making quite a bit of money. Diablo, that was not good. That was when things started, like those webs started to appear, the cracks started to really become chasms.
Yeah.
Because they're moving onto mobile platform and their core audience is PC. All the World of Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft, Heroes of the Storm, all of those are on PC. And like Hearthstone's on mobile as well, but like most people play it, a lot of people play it on PC and mobile and everything like that. But anyway, it's just, it really bothers me.
You're making my microphone move.
Sorry.
I do like the passion though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because I loved Blizzard, I just wanted them to succeed so much. But yeah. That's all right. So, and I want them to, because at the moment, if the way things are going, people are like really boycotting stuff, and they've got to be careful, because once you get on the wrong side of gamers, I mean,
you can't get back on the right side.
Yeah, it's really hard to do so, like really hard. So I'm hoping for the best, man. I'm really hoping for the best. Come on, bring back Metzen. I love you, Metzen. I love you, Metzen.
What does that mean?
Chris Metzen was like high up, vice president or even president of Blizzard.
Okay.
And he was the voice of Thrall and Varian Rin, and so he was both the voice of the War Chief of the Horde and the High King of the Alliance, which is pretty hardcore. And I think he's the voice of Imperius, the new hero in Heroes of the Storm. So pretty good. All right, John, is there anything you wish to talk about? I've gone on a massive rant about Activision Blizzard and my desire for them to get back up into it. So what have you got?
All right.
Snore. So what we're going to talk about... No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, come on. All right. So I have just recently reached level 50 magic on RuneScape.
Oh, wow.
Through only playing... when I'm putting my child to sleep.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But also, admittedly, sometimes I'll be playing and then my wife will be like, I've got to feed the baby or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I'll keep playing afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
It's become a problem, Adam. I think I'm addicted.
Okay, John. Well,
I when I played when I was a child, because as you know, it just came back as a nostalgia thing. They reset it to what it was back in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2007, I was 15... Well, I would have been 14, turning 15 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So this was, the formative years. Apparently, whatever your taste in music is when you're 14 sets your taste in music for the rest of time and life itself or something. And so I suppose it's the same for games. So the problem is everything in the game is kind of organized around how you can become the most efficient player, because there's so many different ways you can train each skill and earn money and all this, that you would only ever want to be choosing the most efficient way, right? So that you can do it the fastest.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized it's a game and you should be trying to have fun instead. Yep. So these methods are like, you have to just sit there for hours at a time, like clicking on things, but you'll advance through the levels super fast.
Well, hopefully... I mean, that's kind of the same with what WoW is at the moment, really, because it's all about getting the appropriate gear. Like, that is literally the only specified stuff for whatever role you're in.
Yeah.
But, that's cool. Neither here nor there. Oh, thank you. Yes.
All right. So, in World of Warcraft, are there any methods that are like super efficient but just so unfun that you would never try
fishing?
To do it?
Oh, well, okay.
There's a fishing skill in World of Warcraft? Okay.
Yeah. So fishing is the most boring thing in that game. Because literally you're just casting the line out, waiting for it to bob and then clicking it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else involved. Like, there's nothing else you can do. And you do need fish if you're wanting to cook, if you're wanting the food for the raids and things like that.
Okay.
So you do kind of need that stuff. And that is so dull. But
can you just buy the food off other people?
Yeah, you can. But, I mean, if you're wanting to be self-sufficient and contribute...
Okay.
You need to do it yourself.
All right. So there's this... You're talking about self-sufficient. There's actually this new game mode on RuneScape that they just added. It's called Iron Man mode. Have you ever heard of it?
That's not on RuneScape. That's World of Warcraft.
So World of Warcraft has it too? Is it the same thing?
It's not a mode so much. It's more like a challenge.
Okay.
So you start from level 1.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to equip anything. So there's different levels of rarity of items, right?
Okay.
So you can only wear grey items, which is literally the worst stuff in the game. And you've got a level from 1 to max level without dying.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this is slightly different to that.
Mm.
That sounds pretty challenging.
Yeah.
Iron Man in RuneScape is you can't buy anything. You just have to basically get it yourself. And a lot of the items in the game are super, super rare.
Mm. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's easy to get those items and they're really useful. You just pay for it with a lot of money that you can get from doing other stuff rather than sitting and doing the same thing over and over and over to try and get that item. So a lot of people will play this game because apparently, even though it takes like hours and hours and hours to max all your levels in RuneScape, people think it's too easy. So they want to do it much harder where they have to do everything that is involved to try and get their skills up.
Right. That sounds horrifying, just to be perfectly frank.
And it gets worse. There's also this thing called Ultimate Iron Man, where you can't use a bank in the game.
Right.
So every skill that you need to learn, you have to, like, say you want to get your smithing level up, you have to mine the ore, put it into the furnace, get the bars out, then hammer those bars into the armor.
Right. I remember when I played RuneScape, and this was a long time ago. I loved mining and blacksmithing. I spent so long going, because I think I had this... the special connection.
Yeah.
Where you could go to, like, the paid land, if you will.
I'm not sure what you mean by
that. So, you had, like, free roam area, like, where all the free roam people went. And then you had, like, an area where you could go...
the membership.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, obviously. What a moron. The membership area was... I used to do a whole lot of stuff around there. And it was so much fun. That was great.
Oh, it's an incredible...
Yeah, because I used to just do so much mining there.
Yeah.
And used to just get so much stuff. Of course, there was the risk. I think where I mined, you could be attacked by the players. I can't remember. But yeah, great fun. So much glory. And I just used to give so much money to so much ore and just random full armor sets to random new players.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that on a past episode. Okay, all right, but so you've now heard about Ultimate Iron Man, where you can't bank, so you have to do everything in a row and then start all the way again. You can't just deposit stuff in the bank and keep doing what you're doing.
Let me guess, is there a Supreme Iron Man?
There is region-locked Iron Man.
Oh, no, okay.
So they will choose one area and say, I cannot leave this area. I can only do things that involve this area.
Wow, okay.
So they'll allow you to do certain quests that allow you to unlock a certain skill. And maybe get up a few levels to be able to get into that area. But after that, you have to drop everything you've got and just use things that are in that area.
Right.
And there's this skill in RuneScape called agility, which is basically gymnastics, trying to get over shortcuts and stuff.
Yeah.
But the only way to train it in this area that this person chose was to click a bridge over and over and over. But it was so hard to jump over this bridge that you would all of a sudden... fall into the water and only get one experience every single time, no matter how many times he did it.
Yeah.
So it did it one experience point at a time.
That sounds like it would be literally horrifying beyond anything I've ever known.
But it is honestly the most incredible fun series to watch. Yeah. So it's him basically torturing himself by making the game as hard as possible. But for some reason, he loves it. So... I don't know what this proves. I don't think anyone could have seen this coming. But the world loves not to play games, but to watch other people play games.
Yeah.
Because playing games takes too much effort. You have to load up the computer. You have to get everything ready. You have to know what your goals are in the game. Too much effort. Just watch someone else having fun.
People love the same idea of watching sports, essentially.
Yeah, actually... I should have seen this coming because that is sports. Yeah. Everyone's like, yes, we won the game. And it's like, did you actually play though?
Yeah.
Like, no, my team won. Are you on that team?
That's the best thing.
No,
I
support that team, and that's fine. Like, I understand it, but for some reason for games it seemed weird. But no, you're right. Yep. It's completely normal.
100%, because you got the. Like, think about it from, like, esports perspective.
Yeah.
And if, your parents come into your room or whatever when you're a teenager and you're just like, oh, why don't you go out and play the game or something like that? Or why are you watching someone play video games? You just be like, and why do you watch soccer? Sassy snap.
Yeah, I love this meme where they're like, oh, all these people went to the park and they were getting really upset about this game where there was blue and red teams, and it was when Pokemon Go came out.
Oh, right, yeah.
So like the blue and red teams, and they were like, I want to get the goal. No, I want to get the goal, or whatever. And they phrased it brilliantly, so you thought it was Pokemon Go the whole time.
Right.
And then it got really serious. They were like, and then they started like hitting each other in real life, not caring about the game anymore. They were just so angry at each other. And you're like, what on earth? People who were playing Pokemon Go are this angry at each other? And they're like, and then the soccer game ended, and I went home and played Pokemon instead.
Nice.
It was just so brilliantly done because sports are so normal.
Yeah.
But when it comes to games, we're just like, wait, what? Why would people care so much?
Well, I think I agree 100%. But how good was that, like, 2-month period where Pokemon Go had just come out? And it was like the closest we've ever come to world peace.
Everyone was talking to each other.
Everyone
they were
was
walking outside, like,
it was so good.
Keeping fit.
Yeah.
It was amazing. You would just go out to a stranger and be like, oh, yeah, you're getting the Charmanders and whatnot.
I remember I was up at so in WA, we've got this place called Kings Park, where it's the largest, what's the term? Well, it's the largest city park in the world, right? And my friend and I, Evan, we were up at Kings Park doing Pokemon Go because there's a ton of...
Yeah, something to note, the way the Pokemon Go engine works is there are two things that cause them to make a hotspot, basically. Well, kind of three factors. One is that there's lots of significant monuments in the area that people took photos of when playing Ingress, which was the precursor to Pokemon Go. One is the fact that a lot of people go there, because if a lot of people go there, more monsters spawn, because they know it's a safe place. And the third part is if it's a big open area of park or grassland. Kings Park has all those in sways. Lots of monuments, lots of people going there, and lots of grass.
It's definitely the most densely populated Pokemon area in WA.
So there would just be Pokemon spawning
everywhere.
So
anyway, we were down like at one end near like bridges and fountains and stuff like that, and somebody just shouted out, "Oh my god, there's a Blastoise up at the main entry!" And everyone just looks at each other, just like, "Oh my goodness, a Blastoise!" And we're all like, "Okay." And he's like, "Oh, it's only got like 5 minutes left," and this is a run. Like, everyone just dropped what they were doing and literally started running. And you had, like, this massive group of people running through Kings Park. And it was just... Like, at that point, I was just like... I wasn't so much caring about the Blastoise. I was just so happy to see all these people running together, having fun, laughing with one another.
Yeah.
And it was just so much fun. Like, I remember I got there and I was just like, oh God, I need to get in shape. And I was wearing, like, my leather jacket and everything like that. It did not work well. There was, such fun in that we had, I didn't even get the Blastoise. It was very depressing. But we had just such a great deal of fun getting there. And yeah, it was just a lot of...
I'm destroying your computer. I'm sorry, Adam. What did I just turn off your computer?
Yeah, you did. It's all right.
Yeah, I remember the same thing. Like, people, what was it? A Dragonite. I think that was one of the more rare ones.
Yeah,
and that was at Pokemon at Kings Park one time, and my friend went down and was like, everyone was just running across to get it, and he was like, "What is it?" Because you just go there.
Yeah,
you just go with everyone else, and you're like, "Oh my goodness, it's a Dragonite!" And like,
full.
It would get round like whispers and rumors and stuff. It was such a great game. Why did it have to lose popularity? I guess I stopped playing it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I did as well because it's like it stagnated.
They needed to release it with battles.
Yeah, they did.
Because then we would have started to care about it. But what was it called? Bases. The gyms. They just weren't as fun.
No. So that's all right. We came close to world peace with Pokemon Go literally when that came out. And it was just like literally Pokemon Go, for those 2 months, did more for youth fitness than any school or government program in existence.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
Well done to Nintendo and Niantic, or I think what was his name? I can't remember.
Yeah, Niantic.
Yeah. So well done to them. So well done.
I just can't wait until the next one. The next
big thing,
live action, get out into the real world game comes out.
Yeah, that is going to be fun. Wait, we're talking about RuneScape. So yeah, RuneScape. I might actually try and get back into that, John. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have a look at that right now.
Create an account. Just add me on RuneScape. My username is.
Maybe you shouldn't have said that. But yeah, definitely message me your stuff, and I'll have a go.
It's the only game I actually have time for because you can just turn it off at any moment when the baby starts crying or
radio.
needs to go to work.
Well, folks, if you're wanting to, you should play RuneScape with us.
I don't recommend this at all because if you will either hate the game or you'll get addicted and never be able to quit in your life.
Yeah.
If that sounds like fun to you, join in.
I'm trying to find the
how to play
old school. There it is.
Oh yeah. Sorry, you've got to play old school.
Yeah,
the
I'm not
new
playing,
game. It sucks. It's just trying to be WoW, but it's not as good as WoW. So,
member. Ooh.
Get involved.
You're a new father, John. You're a new father.
Yes.
How's that going?
It's actually pretty good.
Hmm.
So, I now have an infallible excuse to refuse to go out in public, which for an introvert.
Oh my goodness, I need to have a child.
Yes. Because you can just say, oh, no, actually, the child's been acting up. Do you know why? Because the child's always acting up.
You use that excuse on me. No,
well, that's the thing. The catch is, it's not an excuse. It's actually a real valid thing that is happening. Because you are not getting as much sleep as you used to be able to. Your child is needing attention at any time. It's hard to see your friends as much. But to an introvert, all of these are awesome things. You can be up at night when everyone's asleep. You would love that.
Well, that is basically me in a nutshell. Yeah.
You have an excuse to reduce some of your commitments that have just added up over time.
Mm-hmm.
It's great for introverts. Now, I might just be saying this because I'm really, as a person, I like to focus on the positive aspects. But
True.
No, it is actually amazing. I think if life happiness was just measured by the amount of time spent smiling, I think I would be at my happiest moment.
That's very sweet, John.
At least for the last.
It's only when I'm around, though. Yeah.
Well, no,
no, that's great. Anyway,
smiling at the baby, not.
Oh,
sorry.
That's okay.
That's awkward. Moving on.
So yeah, we had. Well, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So what you're saying is I should definitely have a child. Okay, I'll have a child.
Actually,
I'll get on that right after this podcast.
Having more spare time is definitely not a reason to have a child, but it kind of happens not the way you're expecting.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yes, I've been able to rekindle my gaming addictions, which is good.
Only for RuneScape, yeah. But we're going to try Destiny.
Okay.
We're going to try Destiny too.
Destiny, yes.
Because you don't have the time for WoW, which is perfectly acceptable.
I can only maintain one addiction to an RPG.
And you don't have the console required for Red Dead Redemption 2. You probably don't have the will for Heroes of the Storm because of the learning curve.
Yeah, that's pretty difficult.
And literally Destiny 2... So here's the thing. I got into Destiny 2 when they offered it for free at BlizzCon, right?
Yes.
Their last BlizzCon. And I had such a great time playing that. Like, I played it solid straight for about 3 days. I've stopped because I've just been doing other stuff and other games and things like that. But, yeah, while I was playing it, I had so much fun. But they stopped playing... a lot of people complained during some of the other expansions that came out previous to the free release.
Yes.
Because those are like heavy microtransactions and stuff like that. But I didn't bother with any of that stuff. I literally just had fun shooting aliens in the face.
Yeah, I like that. I really like... I've never done...
You played Halo, yeah?
Yeah.
It's like that.
I really enjoyed the Halo games. I must admit...
Okay.
I'm really weird when it comes to my games. I don't like... fighting other people, and I think part of this comes from the bad internet connections in Australia.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And part of it comes from because I do get immersed in the game and I'm like, well, I wouldn't do that in real life.
Yeah.
But it's the same with Destiny. It only cost... you had to buy the game. This is the original game. They didn't release it for free. On Xbox, you could play with others without Xbox Live, without having to pay for Xbox Live.
Oh, that's cool.
But in order to go to the Crucible, which is where you fight other players, you actually have to pay for Xbox Live. Mm-hmm. So what I ended up doing was I just didn't bother with Xbox Live, and I just love the aspect of the game where you're fighting the shared enemy, which is all the aliens that are trying to
all the invasions and
the
stuff like that.
Yeah. And people would just come along and you would meet each other in the game and you just start fighting together, and it was great.
I had so much fun doing that. Like I literally spent so much time in the starting zone because they're scaled, right?
Yeah.
I spent so much time literally. I created like this little track, this little route around the entire place to collect ammo, to kill enemies, kill the bosses, all this type of stuff, and just get all this awesome glory that shone down upon me. And I leveled up so much during that part. It was I just had so much fun. So we'll have to try that.
I wonder if I can transfer my levels to Destiny 2.
I don't think
from
so.
Xbox to PC, probably not.
No, probably not. They're not that,
because you're going to be destroying me, even though I've gotten all those levels on.
Well, we're not going up against each other in PvP.
You can show me the ropes. You'll have to teach me how to play.
I can protect you.
It's been a while
with my glory.
I really appreciate it.
I don't remember what class I was. I was
I think
gunslinger.
Okay.
Yeah.
I chose whatever one you could get swords in the game, but I still haven't found a sword.
Oh, right.
Because I love in Halo there was this thing called the elites. They had the what was it called? Some kind of
the prismatic sword thing.
Yeah, it's like a ceremonial sword, but they end up using it, and it's just so
hunter.
good because you could lunge at people out of nowhere. Oh, it's amazing.
I was a hunter gunslinger, and then I did hunter Arcstrider for a while because you had like this staff and you just like leapt around beating the crap out of folk. It was glorious. And Nathan Fillion does the voice acting in, well, at least part of it anyway.
Okay, because I remember Peter Dinklage does the ghost in the first game. Yep. I don't know if they got him back.
I don't know. But yeah, so that was pretty good. So we'll give that a crack and we'll try that on Twitch at some stage. Maybe on the weekend.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We'll give that a crack and we'll put it up everywhere. And that will be glorious. And there is somebody there. Hello there, Mr. Helm. How are you? Hope you're well.
Thanks for joining us.
Yep. Is there anything you want to scream at us through the internet? A topic of conversation you would love? Anyway, whilst you consider your answer, I will jump up and down. No, I'm not actually going to do that.
I guess it's my turn to think of a topic. So normally we do, for the people who've just joined us online, we do normally come up with a schedule. But today we thought we'd put a spanner in the works and just go random. You've joined us on episode 31, and thank you for that suggestion. Who are our heroes?
Oh, okay. You go first. I've spoken all.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know if I've got an answer prepared for this.
Mine's easy. Boom. My hero, without any shadow of a doubt, is Patrick Rothfuss.
Yes.
He is one of the greatest people that has ever walked this planet in my eyes. Not only does he have a voice like molten lead slowly being submerged in milk, but it's more his heart, his view on the world, and his capacity to make other people feel. I think he is this sole epitome of empathy. I mean, if you've read any... So Patrick Rothfuss, for those of you who don't know, is a writer. And he's written a series called The Kingkiller Chronicles. And he has a podcast called Unattended Consequences. And that is done with the co-creator of Cards Against Humanity, Max Temkin. And obviously my hero is Patrick Rothfuss. So he's definitely my hero. I would also say Lindsay Sterling is a creative inspiration for me because of her passion for her music and her craft.
I'm glad you said two, because it's really hard to come up with something.
Well, I mean, I can come up with many people who give me some level of inspiration. But you're blocking everybody.
Sorry, I'm blocking out the glorious view
of me and my fantastic thing. I don't know. That makes me sound like I'm naked.
Oh, wow. We're going to lose all our viewers. Or maybe gain some. I'm not sure.
I don't know, yeah. Maybe I should dress provocatively. That might work. But no, I like this shirt too much. So, yeah. But yeah, okay, so who are your heroes, John?
Okay, I would say John Bellion is one.
Explain.
He makes kind of R&B music.
Oh, right, yeah.
but he's so creative and he's so honest that it's just such an inspiration with me with everything that I do, you know, books, movies, games, shows, whatever music I record, etc., etc. So I'd say he's one hero for me.
Yeah.
I mean, C.S. Lewis, the Narnia series was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Like, obviously for its time and for its age group, it doesn't. I mean, it's not quite as in depth as the Kingkiller Chronicles when it comes to adult reading, but
still,
I think, I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. Christopher Nolan's movies. Like, I'm just going off books, movies, TV shows, games,
fair
music.
Enough. What about ethics or theology or philosophy or theology?
I honestly do not know that many philosophers.
Fair.
Probably just Stoicism in general.
Your answers are all incorrect.
What?
Your hero is me. So,
oh, right. I didn't know you were angling for that.
No, I'm not.
I should have seen that coming.
But more importantly, who are your heroes? Let us know. Because I'd be interested to know basically how other people view other people's heroes. So I'd like to see what you've got planned. So, yeah. Okay. What about non-famous people? Like people you've met in real life? Okay. People who I've met in real life. Okay. John, have you got an answer for that? Anyone who springs to mind?
Wow. All right.
Oh, hold on a second. Pete. I wonder. But in all honesty, I would say I have a friend. And he is a wise gentleman. And he is a non-judgmental individual. Yeah. And he's always there to help his friends. And it is. How did I know? Welcome there, sir. I should have known. Yes, indeed. But yes,
from the first word, hero. Who are your heroes?
I should have known. Even though you spelled heroes incorrectly.
Oh yeah, heroes needs an E.
Yeah. But no, I can't believe it. Well done. I'm very, very pleased with that. So Pete is a friend of mine, and he's just trolled us for other viewers. Well done. And I knew listening. That. And it's very subtle trolling as well, because Pete likes to do this thing as saying, basically, when I say hacking, of course, I mean in inverted commas, but getting people's phones. And he likes to put Pete, last name redacted, is my hero, so it looks like the person who said that. And so he's done quite well. Well done. I'm so pleased with that. John, Pete, you've done well. Congratulations. Welcome to the podcast. Pete is a friend of ours. John, you got anything else to say?
Well, we're actually approaching time. We've almost done a whole hour. Well, actually, I think we've gone over an hour.
But we should have one more topic. One last topic.
One
quick one.
I like the idea. All right, Adam. Mm-hmm. I've got a question for you.
All right. Ooh, okay. I like questions.
What is the most dangerous thing you've ever done?
That all depends on what you would deem dangerous. What you would deem dangerous, or what I would deem dangerous?
I'm going to go with what I would deem dangerous.
I have had... I'm not sure.
Or we can go with whatever's easiest for you to answer.
For me, probably the most dangerous thing I've ever experienced was I had a venomous snake wrapped around my throat before.
What?
Yeah.
How do I not know this?
And it wasn't aggressive or anything like that.
Okay.
It was about, I don't know, it was about 10 feet, no, I can't remember. It was about 8 feet long or something like that. And it was wrapped around my arm and neck. And its head was like down, like this, down towards like the, I don't know, 3/4 of the way down my back. And every time I would talk or laugh, because I've got a rather deep voice, it rumbles, and every time I'd speak, it would tighten.
Because snakes don't actually have ears.
No.
They just feel the vibration, yeah.
And so every time I'd talk, this would basically constrict around my throat. Not to the point where I was suffocating or anything like that. It was actually quite pleasant. Like, it was like this. No, I know it sounds weird, but no, I mean, like, because like when I'd stop talking, it would release, and every time I'd start talking, it would like constrict again. So it's just like this weird cause and effect reaction stuff.
Because honestly, like,
well, that's why I say it was a bit worrying for me, because like I love snakes, like I have no fear of snakes whatsoever. But because it was behind, like on my back, like its head was behind my back, I couldn't actually see anything, and I was worried it was going to basically bite my face, or bite my back of my neck.
That is terrifying. I reckon this would be a good a game to play. If you could pick one, maybe 1 or 4 hour period of your life.
Yeah.
And the other person has to swap in and relive that memory as if that was happening to them. Yeah. And you have to do whatever the scariest moment of your life is.
How would you... There is a baby. It's just been walked by. He's saying hello. She's saying hello. Okay, ready? Yeah, that would be a good game. So, okay, last thing. What is the most dangerous thing you've done?
I reckon it's... I went cycling on this road once, and it wasn't really a cycle path. Like, it was completely legal for me to be there. It's within the road rules. I was fine to be there. But the cars were just not giving me space at all. And they were going so close to me, and I got scared. So I was like, I'm just going to pull off onto this, like, pedestrian path. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'll go up this driveway. But it wasn't a flat driveway going down to the ground. There was a little lip.
Yeah.
And because I only turned a little bit, I didn't actually, because I was still at speed. Because I was making a snap judgment because I was getting scared by these cars, I didn't think it through.
Yeah.
The wheel turned a little bit. I turned onto the lip. And then I hit the lip, fell off.
Oh, wow.
If I that was pretty bad judgment because I was scared. If I had made a little bit worse judgment and swerved the other way,
you would have,
this podcast wouldn't exist.
Well, it would, just not the host. No, I'm just kidding.
Who would edit it, Adam? Who would edit it?
Yeah, that's true. See, the thing is, that's dreadful. You see, I have to say, you, Katie, and your sister have all basically... Every time I'm on the road, right, and I see a cyclist, my immediate response is, these sons of people. But then I remember, because Australia had this wonderful advertising campaign where it was on the radio and TV and before movies and stuff like that, where it was basically, what if it's one of your mates type of thing. And I'm just like, and that stuck with me because every time I'm like, I see this bloody cyclist on the side of the road who's taking up half the lane. I'm just like, I want to scream at this person. But then I realize I would be furious if someone screamed at John, Katie, or Lauren. Right. I'd just be furious. So I'm just like, I'm going to say nothing and I'm going to smile at them. And I give them space.
I'm so glad. That makes me so proud, Adam.
I hate it, John.
An emotional moment.
I hate it. But I'm afraid I think that's all we've got time for.
Yeah, we better call it there. So thanks for those who came and tuned in.
Sorry about the beginning of the live stream because we didn't quite know the video was absolute rubbish. So going forward, we now have a better method essentially. So we'll be doing that in the future, I think.
Yeah.
And we hope you join us next time. I'm thinking we might do something a bit earlier. Like on the weekend, like we'll come in on the weekend, do another episode, and we'll live stream again. Yeah, sound good?
Sounds good.
I'm liking the sound of this, folks. So join in next time for another glorious rendition. We'll probably not have free structured time though. We'll actually
we'll do a plan again. But you know, off the top of our brains, hopefully that wasn't a complete mess of weirdness.
Well, I mean, we'll find out. I think I might actually enjoy listening to this episode because it's just random nonsense. Because, you know, usually we plan out everything and it's just like...
It still sounds like random nonsense, but that's because we're trying to keep a humorous vibe. Exactly. Every word we say is planned on the podcast.
Every single scripted, meticulously, everything. I mean, all the indeeds. You know what we do? I don't think we've said that once this episode.
That's a nice one.
Anyway, that's weird. We just congratulate ourselves on not saying indeed. So I hope you, fine listener and fine viewer, have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Good night.
Well, John, you can say something.
Farewell. That about ends it.
Yep. Glory.